I'm 79, and I often catch myself thinking that people look at me and assume she's already been through everything. Her life is just memories, dust on old photographs and the word once. But I smile because deep down I know this. Life can begin even when you think it was decided for you a long time ago. My name is Catherine. I come from a well-off family where there were always a lot of rules. How to sit, how to speak, who to be friends with, how to look. My father owned a company everyone in our town knew. We had a good life, a big house, proper dinners, proper manners, proper words, even proper friends. Ever since I was a little girl, people told me, "Catherine, you'll be fine. You just have to do everything the right way." And I did. When I was 32, I had everything people call perfect. I had a husband, I had a daughter, I had stability. I worked at my father's company, though if I'm honest, that job was never my dream. But I stayed quiet because it was right. I remember myself back then, neat, composed, wearing the right smile. I tried so hard to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect daughter. I'd wake up and immediately think about what needed to be done, who I couldn't let down, what I had to keep under control. I lived as if it were my job to keep everything managed, to keep everything in order. And do you know what saved me back then? My 3 friends. 3 women I met every Sunday for lunch. It was our tradition, almost sacred. We laughed, shared secrets, sometimes cried, sometimes argued, but we were always there for each other. We talked about everything: children, husbands, fears, dreams. We didn't always dare to say out loud. With them, I didn't have to be my father's daughter or my husband's wife. With them, I could just be myself. And then one day, on one of those Sundays, everything changed. We were sitting at the table. I even remember the smell, coffee with cinnamon. And one of my friends stayed quiet for a long time, too long. I asked, "What's wrong?" She looked at me like it physically hurt her to speak, and she said, "Catherine, I don't know how to tell you this, but your husband is cheating on you with another woman." In that moment, the world seemed to stop. I didn't have a dramatic movie reaction. There was no screaming, no scene, just the feeling that the ground under my feet had turned into emptiness. I didn't believe it. I refused to. I looked for excuses. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe they mixed him up. Maybe. And then the details started appearing, small, sharp as glass. The late nights, his distance, and the worst part wasn't even that he cheated. It was that I hadn't noticed, that I had lived next to a person and thought I knew him, when in truth, I only knew the version I'd created in my head. I suffered in a way I never had before. Money didn't save me. Status didn't save me. A beautiful house didn't save me. Pain doesn't care what kind of home you live in. I shut down. I stopped leaving my room. I could sit in silence for hours, staring at one point. It felt like it wasn't only my love that had been betrayed, but my dignity too. Some mornings I would get dressed and then sit on the edge of the bed, unable to move, as if my body had forgotten how to live a normal day. I'd hear my daughter's footsteps in the hallway and force a smile, and then the moment she left the room, my face would collapse again. At night, I replayed our entire marriage like a film, searching for the exact scene where everything went wrong, begging my memory to give me one clear explanation, one moment I could point to and say, "There, that's why." But life doesn't work that way. Sometimes there is no single reason, only choices made quietly behind your back. I went into psychological rehabilitation. That decision became my first small step back toward life. because back then I didn't really want to live. I just wanted the pain to stop. 6 months. 6 months of learning how to breathe again, learning not to blame myself, learning to accept reality. In therapy, I learned something I wish every woman could hear early. Betrayal isn't proof that you weren't enough. It's proof that someone else didn't have the courage to be honest. I learned to name my feelings out loud: anger, grief, humiliation, fear, without apologizing for them. And little by little, the shame that wasn't mine began to loosen its grip. And do you know who was by my side through all of it? My mother. She was never a woman of loud words, but she knew how to stay close. She didn't say, "Everything will be fine," because sometimes that sounds like cruelty. She said, "I'm here and you're not alone." When I finally could speak without crying, I told her, "Mom, I can't be with him anymore." And she answered, "Then don't. Life isn't a sentence, Catherine." I divorced my husband, and it hurt, because even when someone betrays you, 10 years of marriage doesn't disappear like dust. It's memories, habits, a child you share. But I knew this. If I stayed, I would be betraying myself. And after that blow, I couldn't allow one more betrayal, this time from my own heart. After rehab, I started trying new things, small steps, careful ones, like someone learning to step outside again after a storm. And suddenly I remembered that I once loved design. I loved combining fabrics, imagining silhouettes, finding beauty in details. But for the previous 10 years, I'd worked a job I didn't love, simply because that's what you were supposed to do. My mother gave me money for a starting budget, not as charity, but as faith, as a chance. And I began to work, day after day, from morning until late at night, not because anyone forced me, but because for the first time in years, I actually wanted to wake up. I'd spread fabric across the table and feel my hands steady. I'd sketch and erase and sketch again, and for the first time, my perfectionism didn't feel like a cage. It felt like devotion. Each new piece I made felt like proof that I could build something that belonged to me. 6 months later, I launched my brand, and it felt like the birth of a second version of me. I finally started living for myself, working with what I loved. And it didn't even matter that I'd spent the previous 10 years at an unloved job. Now I knew life doesn't end because of mistakes. Sometimes it only begins. My daughter supported me so much. My friends helped me constantly, and I'm endlessly grateful to them. But I still couldn't bring myself to see my husband close to me again. I didn't want to. I was afraid. I kept that door shut. There were only months of work, morning to night, on new collections. I healed not by running away, but by creating. A few more months passed, and I learned that my ex-husband's new girlfriend had already started to bore him. She was only interested in his money. She didn't see a human being in him, only a wallet. He felt empty, and then he remembered me. And then, at one of my shows, he came up to me. He congratulated me. He gave me flowers and a note. On it, he'd written, "Maybe we could try again." In my heart, I said no right away. But then, I thought about it for a long time. I hesitated, because 10 years of marriage and a child you share, those things leave a mark, and I agreed to one meeting. My friend supported me, and that very day, my ex-husband and I decided to start from the beginning. We didn't remarry. We got to know each other again, as if for the first time. We went on dates, we talked, we listened. But this time, I wasn't the girl who didn't know what she wanted. I had found myself. I had found my work, the thing I burn for, and because of that, I know who I am and what I'm worth. Everything was different now. Our relationship took on new colors because I had changed. I was stronger, more confident, and I made new rules, quiet, firm ones. I didn't chase love anymore. I chose it. I didn't accept apologies without actions. I didn't shrink to keep peace. And strangely, that honesty, my honesty, made everything real in a way it had never been before. And do you know what matters most? All of it happened because of one detail, the work you do with love, the work that lights you up. So, my dears, first we have to find ourselves, not someone beside us, not a proper life, not someone else's approval, ourselves. Because when you find yourself, your life can't be broken anymore. It can only be changed, and very often, changed for the better. If you're in the dark right now, know this: it's not the end, it could be the beginning. Sometimes the best life begins after the most painful truth.